What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Air Racing YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, please consider liking and subscribing. And today we have something a little bit different. We're gonna go back to all the first videos and kind of do a whole kind of time lapse of building this 240 as it got to it today. So cut to this next video is kind of actually the first video I kind of took of after I got the 240. So I basically got this thing as a roller, and then I got a 2002 Camaro SS. So we'll cut to that. All right, what up, guys? We're gonna give you another update on the 240. Here she is. So far, not a ton done with this. Did get a bunch of chase base stuff. We got more in there. We'll do another video on all that stuff. But yeah, getting it ready to put the new motor in. So the new motor that we got is right behind us, and it's gonna be pretty badass. Here it is. Picked up a 2002 Camaro SS. And actually the power plant in it is a 6.0 truck block out of a Silverado 2500. They put everything's been gone through. LS3 heads, LS3 intake, custom cam, Y-scope pistons, and then it's got a little bit of a built T56 in it. So we're going to take that out, throw it in there. All right, so from there, I finally had my donor car that I was going to use to build this thing, and I had to get it out. So I did not have a lift or anything like that. So the best way to do it, as you're seeing now, is I used the cherry picker to lift the actual car up and drop the actual motor and transmission straight out the bottom with the subframe and everything. And then once I got it out, I unbolted the motor from the subframe and put it back onto the subframe, bolted that back up, and then I had another guy, he came and he bought the roller for I believe around 2,200 bucks. So I got that sold, and then the rest of that money then went into helping get the swap kit, which we did, I believe at that time when it was NA, was IRS headers, IRS, is it ISR, excuse me, ISR mounts, and then we did a Sicky pan. All right, so the motor and trans at this point need a little bit of dress up, kind of take off some of the old accessories and things we didn't need, like power steering, get some new brackets to mount the alternator down lower. And then the biggest thing was the wiring. Now, this car used to have a SR20 in it before. So behind the dash, it's hard to see. Well, behind the dash, or all back there that the new wiring is, used to have the entire harness for the SR20. So I just decided I didn't know what was all going on with that and ripped it all out. So now you see me building it here. This was the panel that I was building to run the whole car. So this would run all the lights, and use all the relays to turn everything else on. So my water pump, fuel pump, fans, turns on the Holly, and then turns on my start button. Now the actual engine is all ran by the Holly Terminator X. So that runs everything up there, and then the panel I have in the back here, I don't know if we can zoom in and on it, but it's back there. That runs basically everything else. So car's wired, car's engine and trans in it, and the next thing basically is we need to figure out what we're going to do for the rear end. So the stock rear end that came with it was a, honestly I can't even remember what it was, Nismo GT diff, whatever. We put it together, car didn't move. So the next thing I did was go to the junkyard, and I found a Q45, took the rear end out of that, took both hubs, and then actually found the driver's side twin turbo axle out of a 300ZX, and then the driver's side axle which came out of the junkyard of the Q45. Slapped those two things in there. I think I already set up with a drive shaft, and then it was finally time to start it. And this was just in time for Streetcar Takeover, so I'm going to cut now to a bunch of our little start videos. Yeah, hold your damn breath. See if this works. Got her all set up. That fuel pump. So I got the car running, and then it was time to go to streetcar takeover because I had a bet with some buddies that I wouldn't be able to finish it, but I did. And maybe that's why we're having some issues now, because maybe I rushed it a little bit. But anyway, got it on the trailer, drove up there with buddy's C5 Turbo Vet. See that on the trailer. And it actually did decent. It was overheating a little bit, so we did have to push it to the starting line. But it ran, I believe, a 119 or 120, so I was... and drove around on the street for the next couple of weeks, and then I'll show you a picture here in a second, because my idiot self decided not to put hood pins in it yet because I didn't know where I wanted to cut it, and the hood flew up and it broke the windshield and crushed the roof into the cage. So while that was down getting fixed, I decided that I was going to do the turbo kit, and I had found the original guy who built this roller, and he had most of the turbo set. I'll put up the pictures of what it looked like when they were building here, and he had most of the setup. So I ended up buying that from him, and then from there, that's when the turbo build started and the money started flowing. So alright, so let's give an update on the car and what's going on with it, why it's been down, why there hasn't been videos, and what's going on with it. So we'll start out here, and you'll see no windshield in the car. Well, that bad boy over there, the little hood over there, decided that at 60 miles an hour it was gonna come flying up and hit the roof. So some of the damage you kind of see. So it hit pretty hard. It did screw up the hood pretty bad, but we ended up, I cut the roof out. Yeah, I cut the whole roof out. It's convertible now. Cut the roof. I keep saying that. Cut the windshield out. Assess the damage, and we got a buddy that's gonna he's gonna fix it up for me, and then probably do plexiglass windshield in there. Plexiglass, probably Lexan. So that's what we got going on for that. Once we get that fixed up, we're gonna go into getting the turbos on it. So let's flip you around here. Is this right? Here you can see our one header, our manifold there. We got the Holley high rise, and then we got the big old, use this big old intercooler coming up, and our turbos will sit right here. I'll actually show you over here. So in here, I'm gonna attempt this one-handed. We have our BorgWarner S366. It is the billet wheel, and that'll sit. Let's see if we can get a better angle on this. So that'll sit right in there. All right, so from there, we basically had, I'd ordered turbos for it, had the intercooler, radiator, pipe here, and we had to get kind of these two pipes remade, this pipe to fit to the new intake, and then this manifold. So I took it over to Matt at Performance Fab in Spartanburg, and he killed it. Did that for me, fixed this one, made 2 exhaust pipes going straight up, fixed everything. He even mounted the bumper for me. So he got everything fixed up. And in the same time, I took off the heads, put new LS9 gaskets on it, ARP head studs. And we had to go with a electric water pump. So actually the electric water pump is sitting down here. I did the 417 Motorsports manifold, Chase Bay's remote filler neck, and then went with that just because the LS3 pump was actually hitting the fan, so there wasn't enough room for all that. So after we got all that together, it took a while because it was also real expensive and did not have the money at the time, so we were trying to get parts cheap. I got some of the turbos for cheap. Somebody had brand new ones sitting in the box I got for a little less, and then was able to get the 2 of the precision turbo wastegates for a decent price, and kind of slowly put everything together. And let's cut to us finally getting this thing started.
Hey, we got the garden hose and the pressure washer over there too, just in case.
Start up, take 1 or 2 actually.
Just let everything, turn your fuel pump on, let it cycle for a minute, and water, and fire it up. It's out of gear, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Should be in neutral. All right, we ready?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so the last clip, there was a bunch of smoke came in the cabin, which I'm pretty sure was the leaking valve cover. So I got that fixed up today. So we should be good there. We're still doing a bunch of tuning with Jason, kind of going back and forth with some logs. Looks like we're losing out on fuel pressure. So maybe clog filters. Got 2 new ones coming in tomorrow. And that pretty much gets you up to speed on the 240. Kind of a little bit of the build process as I went through from the roller to NA to getting it turboed. So I'll probably do another update of the Charlotte video, which didn't go so well. But we're gonna get this thing turned up and running right, and hopefully catch you in the next one. Tell your friends.